Hi friends, thank you so much for clicking this video. My name is Chesiyna and you are welcome. So today I want to talk to you about the truth about the American soft life, or this question about, is the American glow up real? Okay, so this is a very exciting video. Now, before I begin, you can pause and grab a cup of coffee or tea or any beverage that you prefer, and we will begin by just giving a bit of a definition, okay? And these are definitions that I grabbed from the Urban Dictionary, okay? So let's start with soft life. So soft life is a life of ease without requiring hard work, sacrifice, and unpleasantness, okay? And then glow up is an informal term for a positive personal transformation, typically one involving significant changes in appearance and style, and often also growth in confidence and maturity, and sometimes aspects of personal or professional life. So what I would say is, please stick till the end, because I don't necessarily agree with the definitions of soft life and glow up. I have my own definition that I will share at the end of this particular video. So the reason why I'm doing this video is I've heard so many people all over the world, some of them are my friends, but there's this assumption that once you come to America, there's this glow up. And I don't know if it comes from American music videos or American movies, but there's just this idea of, I can't wait to get my green card, or I can't wait to get my visa to go to America, and then I'll have this glow up and my life will change for the better. So I'm here to go ahead and discuss that, because I know so many people so many people, also people who bump into me after so many years from like high school or primary school. Sometimes they remark and they say, oh wow, you glowed up. But in all honesty, if there was any glow up, I think that happened when I was in college in Kenya, because I did 1 year of college in Kenya. So I don't think America has anything to do with it, but hey, I'm here to go ahead and and discuss, because this is a hot topic, and I think you will be surprised by the response that I give. Okay, so I'm going to break down this particular video in chapters, so feel free to bounce around. But honestly, it's such an interesting topic. I think you might as just well watch from beginning to end. So I hope you're ready, and let's begin. Okay, so I want to start off by guessing, because this is just my opinion and maybe my observation as to why people believe that there is a glow up, that there is this soft life associated with living in America. So here are here are my reasons or my thoughts. Number one is, I really don't blame people, because America is synonymous as to the land of opportunities. When people think of America, okay, there are opportunities there, which is true. So people automatically just think that, okay, soft life, glow up, and all this stuff. Another thing is the fact that someone can dream, and with hard work, they can be able to achieve that American dream. So I would say that over here, it's more easier to dream than other countries. So yeah, that's essentially true, but people kind of hide the hard work, that process of you going through that glow up or achieving that soft life. Another thing is that America has access to resources like physical or material items. So I would say, like for me, I'm really big on self-care. So like I love Epsom salt baths and all these things. So getting all those things here in America, it's so cheap, especially if you order from Amazon. I usually order one that's like 20 pounds, so it's kind of like wholesale price and it's really affordable. But if you were to order it maybe in Africa or in Kenya where I'm from, I'm sure you'll pay a pretty penny. So it's either the quantity will be really small for you to afford it, or it will be so expensive because of, you know, the shipping and all this stuff. So that's something that I've seen. So over here you have more access to resources for self-care and all these things, right? Another thing is that, you know, yeah, so people do see that person, that transformation, they're like, oh, okay. Another thing is that, oh gosh. Okay, so another thing is that some people lie about America, and that's the truth. Some people lie, or maybe they're just not forthright, or they omit certain key details about that glow up or that soft life. So most of the time, people don't talk about the first job that you get in America, or the series of first jobs that you get that are really crazy. Like for me, my first jobs, and I talked about this in my culture shock video, was in a warehouse, working, standing on my feet for like 14 hours, minimum wage and all that stuff. So people skip, as I know there's a song on Instagram that says, let's skip to the good part. Is that an actual song? I don't even know, but I usually hear that on like certain reels. But yeah, it's like people will skip to the good part and say, hey, I'm here. But it's like, okay, what about your first job when you were probably cleaning toilets, when you were, you know, doing all these crazy things? So sometimes people omit that. I was speaking to this older gentleman, and I think he's in his maybe 50s or 60s, I don't even know, but he was telling me that, you know, he's well respected from the African country that he's from, and when he goes back home in December, people are like, wow, this guy must be some big shot guy in America. And he usually tells me, man, if they knew the kind of work that I do here, they would be so shocked. So yeah, so yes, soft life, sometimes people portray only what they want you to see, right? But for me, I'm forthright. Like, hey, my first job, it was a mess. I worked call center jobs, people would hang up on me and stuff. So it was not the ideal situation, but it was so necessary in my growth, right? So those are just my ideas of why people, or immigrants in particular, just see this idea of America is soft life. America is, oh, I'll just go there, then I'll glow up. Yeah, so, oh my goodness, I don't know if I find this funny. So I'm going to go to the next session and just, the next chapter rather, and then talk more about this as I build up to what I think soft life is. Okay, so my answer as far as whether the glow up or the soft life in America is real, my answer is yes and no. It really depends on two things. Number one, mindset. That's a big thing. I believe in mindset 100%, because it's not easy to come to America and immigrate and assimilate here. It's not easy at all. So I would say it's dependent on mindset. It depends on whether you're in alignment with your purpose, right? And the reason why I say this is I've seen both sides of the coin. I've seen people come here and right off the bat, they're able to, you know, not right off the bat, but after a while, they're able to succeed, build businesses, and they are, you know, they have multiple small businesses or large businesses making well over 6 figures, sometimes even 7 figures. I've seen immigrants do that. It is possible. So I've seen people who are just really, wow, they're on the move. And I'm like, I really look up to them. And on the other side, I've seen people who have just been through this string kind of like of bad luck, and they can't even catch a break. There's arrests and all this stuff, and they're being kicked out, they're being evicted. I've seen both sides of the coin. And then in particular, I've seen a couple of people who have had this string of bad luck, and they just decide, okay, I'm going to go back to Kenya. And as soon as they land in Kenya, they do so well. So for me, I just feel as if you have to understand where your purpose is and where your destiny is. That's what I believe. Because if you are trying to chase something that's not yours, it's going to be very difficult. I've seen also other people who were just, as I say in French, they were 50-50, comme ci, comme ça. They had just this okay life here. And I know one couple in particular, I won't even say their name, otherwise I'll get in trouble. But this couple that I met over dinner, was it like 5 years ago? And they were amazing. So we're a group of people and they were just telling us about their life. And they came here, they studied. Their life was okay. But once they went back to Kenya, they're very prayerful, such a beautiful couple. They went back to Kenya and they were able to get into government, and they're doing so well and they're serving the Lord. So for me, it's about where is your purpose? Your purpose might be in Kenya and you're doing so well, right? Your purpose can be in Kenya. Like, you can never go wrong if you follow your purpose. That's what I believe. Now let's see if I missed anything here. Yes, okay, so I need to also mention this. So another thing is that my father visited me in 2013, and when he visited, he was really sick. He was diabetic, and also he had issues with his kidneys, so his creatinine levels were like off the charts. They were wacky. So he came here, and at first we saw him, we're like, oh my goodness, Dad, you're in bad shape. So we just told him, you have to relax. We ensured that we were nursing his wound on his leg. We're taking care of him. We were, obviously serving him nutritious meals. We're serving him ugali ya wimbi. Yes, we have ugali ya wimbi here. So that's like millet flour if you're not Kenyan. And we pound it into something like a ball. So we're serving him like organic food, saget and all this stuff. Mursik here. We were serving fresh mursik. There's a lady who makes mursik here. So yeah, we were giving him all this organic stuff and he was resting. And I remember there was a time that I was serving him, and then he got a call from Kenya. People had vandalized a structure that he was trying to build. So they removed the doors and the windows. So he was like, oh, okay, I'm in America, so there's nothing that I can do about it. I'll deal with it when I come. So what happened is that he was forced to rest. It didn't matter what was happening in Kenya. He was unable to jump on a plane and go back. So with those 2 weeks of him actually fully unplugging, when he went back home, and it was during the winter time, so he had this kind of glow going back, and people were like, what? All my relatives who saw my dad, he was so better. He was like, his wound had healed. He was doing so well. He looked like 10 years younger. And I remember people saying in Swahili, ata mimi nataka kuja America. If that's how Dad ended up becoming, ata mimi nataka kuja America. That's what they were saying. That's what they were saying. So for me, I feel as if rest is something so important. You can be in Kenya, you can be in Tanzania, you can be in Sudan or Nigeria, and you rest and you're able to get a glow up. The amount of stress that is in this world nowadays is crazy. So for me, I just feel as if don't wait until you come on vacation to America or whatever. You can be where you are and just find ways to do self-care in your own way that is affordable to your pocket. Like for me, I don't go to spas, but I find like my own affordable way that I can be able to incorporate self-care into my routine, and it works. So yeah, you don't have to do that. Another thing is that also my mom came as well, and again, she fully unplugged. And by the time she was going, she stayed here for 2 weeks. And by the time she was going home, people were like, oh my goodness, there is something, there's a secret, there's something about America. And I was like, dude, it's just rest. Dad and mom were just overworking themselves. And when they came here, there's nowhere you're going. you can't jump into the car and drive. You don't have a driver's license here. You have to wait for us to drive you around. And of course, we're pampering you because we're honoring you as our parents. So yeah, that's what I would say in regards to glow up. Another thing is also for me, I experienced that effect as far as there was a season of my life here in America where I was so stressed, really stressed with work. And I think I had maybe, is it 10 or 15 pounds that I couldn't shake off? Was it like, this was around 2013, I believe, yeah. So there was like 10 or 15 pounds that I couldn't shake off. And I was in the gym, I was I was doing everything. And I went to Kenya in 2013. And in 2 weeks, I dropped 20 pounds. And I was just eating organic. Everything was organic from the farm. So basically farm to table. I had fully unplugged from work emails and everything. So when I came back to work, everyone was like, all my colleagues were like, oh my goodness, you've lost so much weight and you look amazing. And I was like, yeah, that's the Kenyan glow up. Yes. So for me, I just feel as if as far as glow up, it's definitely a mindset thing. So let me see if I have anything else as far as the stories that I wrote here. Another thing is that I know people really, when they think of glow up, they really emphasize the physical aspect to the glow up. But for me, I really value mindset. You know, with my channel, I usually harp on mindset, purpose, and gifting. So for me, I just believe that if you shift your mind, wow, that's amazing. So I did a video about my 20s reflection, and I talk about if there's anything about a glow up that happened here in America. It happened from me like setting the time to really change my mindset and my approach to self-care and all these things. So if you want to watch that video, it's called My 20s Reflection, and I just go step by step talking about how I transformed my mind. And trust me, if you transform your mind, you can achieve everything. One example is when people were building the Tower of Babel in the Bible. God was like, hey, they'll achieve what they want to because they have put their mind to it. Of course, I'm paraphrasing. I'll put the exact verse on the screen so that you see it. But I'm telling you, the mind is a powerful thing. So if you think about soft life, or if you think about glow up, what I would say is, in as much as people really emphasize on the physical aspect and the outward appearance, I feel as if people really neglect the spiritual aspect, that spiritual soft life where you are at peace with who you are. You're at peace with God. You're at peace with just yourself. So yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. So yeah, so I think I've mentioned everything. Okay guys, I'm back and I'm in the next chapter. The previous chapter, when I was recording it, it just cut off. So I hope it doesn't look awkward once I edit it. Okay, so here are my takeaways. I don't like the idea that society has given of soft life. There's so much emphasis on outward appearance and a lot of emphasis on material possessions and what you can buy and earn and all those things. There's no problem with that, but I feel as if we neglect the most important aspects. Like for me, I feel as if there's an element of spiritual soft life, which guys, I always want to be at peace spiritually, because it just makes me so zen when I know that, okay, my spiritual life is good. I feel zen, because you can have everything else in the world, but if you're not okay spiritually or psychologically or emotionally, then guys, you can't even enjoy all these material possessions, right? So for me, I feel as if we need to shift our mindset and think of soft life in those areas. I like the way that some Americans, when they travel, or just maybe people in Western countries, when they travel to third world countries, and they're like, oh my goodness, look at the joy that's on people's faces. And I feel as if that's that peace that you cannot buy. You don't want to labor in vain. There's a verse that says that God gives sleep to those He loves. There's some people who will just labor in vain. You'll pursue all these things, but at the end of the day, there is a spiritual calmness and peace that transcends everything. So for me, I feel as if, hey, we need to focus on that, right? And then again, glow up is also sometimes seen as appearance, but at the same time, there is a mental glow up that, wow, once you get that shift of, oh my goodness, I had this limiting self-beliefs, but now I have a glow up. So for me, I do believe that I had a mental glow up. As I said in one of my videos for my 20s reflection, it happened in my 20s. And looking back, I'm just like, wow, I'm so glad that I had that transformation. So sometimes I feel as if we need to put to a higher standard what really matters. And for me, honestly, I'm really glad that as far as mental, psychological element, or the physical or the spiritual element to the glow up or the soft life, yeah, I think it's really, really amazing. Now, here's my definition of soft life. I hope it makes sense because I wrote it down in a hurry. So my idea of soft life or glow up is living in your purpose. You are in alignment with your purpose, your giftings, and your anointing. You will never go wrong when you live a purpose-driven life. You are designed for a particular purpose, and when you are in alignment with it, it's beautiful. So that's what I believe. If you are someone who is pursuing that glow up or that soft life, live in your purpose, live authentically in your purpose, and sooner or later you will reach the potential that God has given you. And I think that's amazing. Another thing which is so important, oh my goodness, this one, if I could highlight or double underline this particular tip, I would do it because it's so important. Here it is. The pursuit of soft life often involves living in authenticity. So you're not being authentic with who you are, right? So let me repeat that. The pursuit, gosh, can I speak today? The pursuit of soft life often involves living in authenticity. So that means that you're looking at what someone else is doing and you want it. Nowadays, when people say soft life, they look at Instagram, then they see people driving all these big cars. You don't know if they're rented. They're doing all these big things. You don't know if maybe it's a marketing gimmick or a marketing ploy. Of course, there are people who own those things, but I'm just saying that if you are looking with this lens of, oh man, material possessions, so you're looking and you're all like, whoa man, I really want this. What happens is you're being inauthentic because you are suppressing what God has put in your heart, right? And you want what someone else wants. So you're pursuing someone else's life, someone else's purpose or calling, if it's actually authentic, that is. I don't even know what people do nowadays. But I feel as if you really pursue the physical aspect or the material possessions associated with soft life, there will be some element of inauthenticity. That's what I believe. I firmly believe that. Yeah, in Swahili, you know how they say, kama ni yako ni yako. Like if it's yours, it's yours. Why are you looking at what someone else is doing, whether it's true or not true? I don't know. Don't look at just stay in your lane, guys. Stay in your lane. That's what I believe. And that's why I'm not really on social media that much, because I want to live a spirit-led life. And that's another thing about the pursuit of soft life, is it has to be spirit-led. Because when you're just gelling and you're in the flow of the spirit, I feel as if God will really help you. You will get supernatural assistance and empowerment in your journey because God is walking with you. But if you're living a flesh-led life where you're looking at what other people are doing and you want to say, oh yeah, even me, I want to do this, then you're not being authentic to yourself. Yes, you're not being authentic to yourself, and I feel as if there'll always be this tug and pull because there's something in you that has been put there by God, and you're just really suppressing it, and it's not a fun place to be. Now, one thing that you can do to achieve a soft life or glow up, guys, I don't like those two words, but I'm just using it to explain this video, is please put out a vision board. So a vision board is very personal. So what will happen is that you're just, as it says in the word, you're keeping your eyes on the prize. Hey, this is where I'm going. As I'm looking right now, I'm looking at my vision boards. I have two, and I'm like, wow, that's where I'm going. So what happens is I'm able to really focus and be more spirit-led. I'm not gonna see what people are doing on social media and try to copy them and all this stuff. And as I've said in the past chapter, you can have a glow up or a soft life wherever you are. You don't have to come to America. You don't have to get on a plane or anything. I know people in Kenya who are doing so well, and sometimes I'm like, wow, I wish I was in Kenya too. But anyway, this is where my purpose is, so I'm not even gonna say that. But I'm just saying that there are some people who are in South Africa, Uganda, Zimbabwe, all over, like, and they're doing so well. They're doing so well. You know that verse that says 1,000 might fall on one side and 10,000 on the right hand, but it shall not come near you. I feel as if you can have supernatural protection. It doesn't matter if there's a recession and all these things. If you are living a spirit-led life, you are focusing on what really matters, everything will be added unto you, as it says in the word. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. Everything else, as far as all the cars and everything, I think that would be a bonus. But I think what you should do is focus on, number one, living in your purpose, being authentic to it, focusing on what really matters. Right? Kingdom stuff, making sure that you are taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, and then also find out where your purpose is, because sometimes some people are doing the right thing but they're in the wrong place. So you have to find out where you are. You truly do have to find out where you're supposed to be. And also, don't overstay a season, right? Don't overstay a season. So there's so many things to it. So what I would say, as far as, just to wrap it up, is the American glow up real? Yes and no. It just depends on you. It depends on you. Yes and no. And I know that's not something that people want to readily hear, because at the end of the day, there's just a way that people put America on a pedestal. But as I said, I've seen people who have left America and they're doing so well. They're living for God. They're serving God in government. One of my really good friends right now is doing, and he's in his 30s. And I'm like, wow, you made the right thing, relocating back home. And it was a difficult decision. He was doing okay here, but he relocated and he's doing so much better. And I'm like, wow, I can't wait to celebrate with you all your wins in Kenya, right? Now, the other thing is, the truth about the glow up in America is there's so much work that people don't see. People pulling all-nighters, working 16, 17, 18 hours. Here in America, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that people don't necessarily see. And at the end of the day, people don't like to put that out there. Social media is a highlight reel, so not everyone will put it out there. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, is that as far as that soft life, does it exist? Yes, it exists in America, but it also exists everywhere else. So I'm just here just to be realistic and just and just say that, hey, mindset is everything. There is a verse that says, what a man thinks, so is he. And guys, let me say it as it is in the guys. I always paraphrase. So, for as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. That is so true. So you can achieve absolutely everything, wherever you are. If God has stationed you to be a kingdom representative in Uganda, stay there and do great works and let God be glorified through it. And that's it, folks. Thank you so much for clicking this video. I really appreciate it. And guess what? I'll see you on the next one.